Welcome back to Trying to Figure It Out. We are here with another solo. We're on the couch. We're comfy cozy. We are wearing a sweater because your girly is defrosting. It is officially mid-September. I am a fall girl to my core. I feel like I'm coming alive again. We are going to talk about all things fall, all things summer recap, mental health updates, life updates, all the things. I am born for fall. I feel like everyone loves summer. I don't feel that I thrive in the summer months. As a person who is actively struggling with my mental health and figuring out what I want to do with my life and growing into myself more and more, summer feels like a bit of pressure for me because I'm not in a place to be going on these Euro trips. I don't want to go out and day party. I don't want to go out. I'm not a beach girly. I'm terrified of the ocean. Like, there's just so many reasons why I don't feel like I fit into the mold of the summer traditions. I've always just loved the way fall feels. I love how it's just like the kickoff to the season of life of Christmas and Halloween and all things pumpkin spice. I just love fall so much. I get to dress the way I like to dress, and I just feel like there's so much to look forward to. And I think my traditions in life that I hold dearly to my heart all stem from this time of year, whether it's fall, Christmas, winter. That time of year for me is where I feel like I get nostalgic and feel like I'm creating memories and living life the way I love to live life. That being said, we're going to do a summer recap. I'm going to tell you all the things I was up to this summer. And my summer kind of started in May. My best friend got married. I went to Orlando. I had a bachelorette party for my friend who got married. Like, there were so many things that happened in May that May was like a lit month. It was so fun. It was so exciting. It actually felt like May was June. It really felt like summer already. I didn't even get to tell you guys this, but in May, between my friend's bachelorette and wedding, I actually got the absolute privilege to go to Orlando to go to the opening party of Epic Universe, which was literally the best invitation I've ever received in my life. Me and one of my best friends from college and her sister sent it to Orlando, and we were there for all of 48 hours. I was like, guys, we can't just go to Epic Universe. We have to go to Disney too. Like, if I'm in Orlando, there's no way I'm not going to Disney. Like, I just can't not. So we go to Epcot. We do a little bit of everything. We drank around the world. We went on Guardians of the Galaxy. We went on Frozen, and we went on Ratatouille, which, if you know Epcot, that's a pretty successful day. To be able to do all of that is honestly a feat. So that was day one. And we knew the next day was the day of the actual opening party, but the party wasn't until 6 p.m. So we spent the whole day going to Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure and going on all the rides there. Like, we hit every single thing. We were exhausted. I haven't told you guys much about my friend Mallory, but she is one of the most amazing people in the world. You are smiling every time you're with her. She's so funny. She makes everything fun. Like, she's just a really good time. So we went to the party. We go inside. We were feral. Epic Universe has 5 universes, 5 portals to different worlds. We had 3 hours. Like, we were on a mission. We book it. I mean, we're sprinting. The minute we walk in, there's this long, gorgeous table filled with salami and cheese. I mean, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, this is crazy. And we're like running around with these plates of cheese and salami and crackers. And then people are walking around with like platters of free drinks that look all so good. And we're like, thank you, thank you, thank you. We're like holding so many things while running to try to get to this Ministry of Magic ride. We looked insane. Every single ride was so sick. All in all, this was truly one of the best experiences of my life. We did every single ride. We were full of cheese and meats by the end too. They were serving tomahawks in the park. I mean, it was insanity. That was Epic Universe. Pretty much the next day after getting back, I go to my best friend's wedding, which was another incredible experience. You just feel so encompassed and engulfed by love and happiness. Just seeing people that you love being in love and seeing them smile, seeing them glow. It's such a special, beautiful experience. That whole period of time was all in May. Me and my boyfriend had this running joke where we were like, what are we going to do when this is all over? Like, what happens after May? Like, nothing can top this month. This is the best month ever. So Miles and I like to soften the blow. We were like, let's go to Hawaii the first week of June just to make sure it's like a smooth transition into like going back to normal life. So we book a trip to Hawaii, which was such a fun trip. Every night before dinner with our friends, him and I would go sit outside, watch the sunset, have a drink, and just like decompress and sit there together. That was probably the highlight of my trip, was just sharing that moment with him. Post Hawaii, we came back and it was time for me to really slow down. When I started this podcast, I was in an active state of processing trauma. After I was in that state and not being able to get out of bed, I feel like something clicked in me where I was just like, I gotta get myself together. Like, I gotta get back out there. I went hard on my career, doing things nonstop, specifically working. Like, work is a thing for me that I utilize to distract me from the pain and the anxiety that I feel in my life. I wasn't feeling things. I wasn't in touch with my emotions. I always would say, I haven't cried in so long. Like, I haven't been able to cry. I haven't felt triggered to cry. There'd be times where I'm like, I just want to cry. But I don't feel enough to cry. I didn't feel anything at all. A big reason I quit my job is because I wanted to get back to taking care of myself and listening to myself and feeling more and understanding what I need. And so when I first quit my job in March, I still didn't slow down. I still kept going and kept distracting and kept avoiding how I was feeling. And then May happened, and May was so fun and so much happened, and it was such an exciting time. And then next thing I know, it's June and everything is slowed down. There's no big plans on the horizon. There's nothing crazy to look forward to. I feel like I was so excited to just rot and do nothing, but I literally couldn't do it. Every time I would sit down to do it, I would be like, okay, let me catch up on this show that I didn't watch for the last year, like The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Hadn't watched it. I'm like, let me watch it. Sitting down, the show is on. I can't pay attention to it for more than 30 seconds. I'm like back to my phone, scrolling, doing this, doing that. Like, I could not just get my brain to slow down. And I feel like I didn't really know how to be okay with not having a million plans on the horizon and fill my days with a million different things. And it was so frustrating and aggravating because I was like, why can't I do this? I used to be so good at rotting. Around this time, I ended up getting sick with a stomach bug. And I was like really sick. I could not get out of bed other than to be sick. And that was when I put on Love Island for the first time ever. I had never watched Love Island in my life. I was sick for about 3 days. So I spent 3 full days in bed. I caught up on the first 2 weeks of Love Island in 3 days and obviously ended up loving it. But more importantly, finally was able to rot again. And I think even though I was sick and not feeling good, it was a really refreshing feeling to finally have been able to just lay in bed. And because I was sick, I wasn't judging myself for it. So I was just rotting. And then that kind of trickled over because I finally was like, oh my God, I know how to rot again. And I kept rotting after I was better. At first, the rotting felt really good. Like, once I was able to do it again, I was like, oh, I can breathe again. Like, I'm feeling again. I'm, really slowing down. My body needed to decompress. I hadn't done it for so long, like over a year since I had just sat with myself, and I had lost that ability. So I was really excited to have it back. Like, it really did feel good. It didn't feel bad at all. As time went on, it started to not feel as good. And I think that's when it kind of took a turn for me where I was like, okay, I might be rotting a little too hard at this point, and I might be, overdoing it a bit. A few years ago, when I couldn't get out of bed and didn't feel well, there was no question in my mind of what I needed in those moments. I was going to stay in bed. No one was even questioning me staying in bed. No one was like, girl, you got to get back out there and get your shit together. Like, that was not the advice I was hearing. Like, it was so clear to me and the people around me that rest and comfort and just taking a beat was what I needed at that time. But now I was having such a hard time allowing myself the space to just rest and do nothing, which is so crazy because I used to always be the biggest advocate for doing nothing when you don't want to do anything. Like, if your body is telling you rest, just listen to your body. But I was having such a hard time because now at this place in my life, I feel like getting older and all the pressures I feel to be successful, to advance my life further, to get to the next milestone that I want to get to, sitting in bed doesn't fit into that equation. I was literally fighting with myself in my head because I'm like, we want to rest today. And then my brain is resting, but telling myself that I'm a piece of shit for doing it the entire day. And so when the rotting got a little out of control, I was like, okay, what can we do here? And that's kind of what a lot of this summer was for me, was really trying to figure out how to find balance. I want to honor the part of myself that is clearly struggling and is clearly in pain somewhere inside. Like there is clearly still a part of me that is in pain that I'm trying to heal and listen to and find and feel again. But I don't want to let that be something that I sit with so hard that I'm just like, well, this is the part of me that's in pain and hurting, and I'm just going to lay in bed all day because that's what she's telling me she needs. Instead, I'm trying to be like, okay, we're feeling again. That's a win. Like, let's embrace that, even though it kind of sucks at times, but we're feeling again. Let's keep feeling. Let's do a half rot day. Let's stay in bed for half the day and let's go for a walk with the dogs. Just start there. And I started doing that, and it actually really helped. And even if that was all I did in a day, it was still something, and it made me happy. It brought me joy. It definitely released some endorphins. Another small thing that's, doesn't even require leaving my house, but just going to sit outside and drink my coffee was something. It felt nice. It felt like routine. It felt like something small I was doing to cater to myself. That was enough to add to my day to turn things around. And this was at the beginning. Like, this is the early days of trying to get out of the full rot and finding a balance between resting, but also living and finding routine and taking care of myself in other ways that don't just mean staying in bed. I really did start small with little things around the house, even little things that I've learned of putting on makeup, even if I'm not going anywhere, like going into my bathroom, doing some skincare, brushing my hair, putting on a little bit of makeup. And then after doing that, sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go here. And maybe I have energy now to go do this activity. Like, just doing one small thing can actually be a domino effect to lead to other things. An example I can also give you guys is last week I had a really hard day. I woke up, I was really emotional. I had a really good cry, and I got back into bed after that. I laid in my bed for a while. I watched some TV. I went on my phone, did some doom scrolling, and was just like in bed. I knew that my cleaning lady was coming that day, and that at some point I was going to have to get out of bed because she was going to need to be in my room and I was going to have to get up. And so I told myself, you can stay in bed until she gets here. And then when she gets here, you're going to get up and you're going to have to find something to do. And that's exactly what I did. I had a bunch of boxes from Zara of all these clothes that I had ordered that I was really excited about for fall. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to get out of bed and I'm going to try on all the clothes. I'm going to see what I want to keep, see what I don't want to keep, see what fits, see how I like it. And I'm going to make a video of me doing it. And I'm going to feel cute and I'm going to just do something for myself. After I did that, I was like, okay, I have more energy now. How great is that? I proceeded to then go out and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to Sephora. I need to get a few products that I'm restocking on, whatever. I ended up going to Sephora, had a little moment to myself, got some fresh air, went home. And at this point, it's 6:00 and I had made plans with a friend to cook dinner and hang out with them and have a chill night. And I ended up completely turning my day around. A day that started out really shitty. For sure, 4 years ago, I wouldn't have gotten out of bed at all that day. But even 2 months ago, I don't know if I would have found anything within me to turn that day around. And it felt so empowering. It felt like I was able to listen to my body. I was able to feel how I was feeling. I clearly felt sad. I cried about it. I gave myself a moment to rest, stay in bed, do nothing, decompress, remove thoughts from my mind. And then I was able to get up, go do things, fill the rest of my day with activities, conversation with friends, experiences and moments that brought me out of the sadness, and found this really great hybrid of listening to my body and also pushing myself to do more. What I feel like I really unlocked in myself this summer is finding a balance between doing nothing, being okay with resting, relaxing, sitting with myself, processing feelings, feeling emotions, all the things, but also committing to finding one thing a day that might be enough to still feel like I did something that day. And while there still might be days that aren't even a half rot, there might be full rots. Like, that's okay too. But I've really learned that there are such small things you can do that don't feel too big or too hard to get yourself to do, there's little things that you can do to really still make the day feel like it was a win. And so here I am, having figured out a way to find a balance between rotting, but also pushing myself to know when it's gone too far, understanding when I'm slipping back into a habit that isn't good for me, isn't healthy for me. And for the first time ever, I'm trying to learn how to struggle with my mental health in a way that doesn't consume me wholeheartedly. I really want to learn to coexist with my trauma. I don't want it to be my identity. I don't want it to keep me in bed for the rest of my life. But I also don't want it to be something that I pretend isn't there and fill my days with distractions and act like I'm totally fine. And then I get into bed and have intrusive thoughts. Like, I want to coexist and find the middle ground of honoring the parts of me that are traumatized, honoring the parts of me that are struggling, honoring the parts of me that have anxiety, that have fears, that have emotions, but also still living my life, spending time with friends as a person who is who I am and feeling what I'm feeling. I do have real things on my mind that I can't just avoid by working all the time. I can't also face them by laying in bed all day. I have to learn how to live with my struggles and figure out how much I can tolerate in a day. My best advice to you is, if you need to rot, but try a half rot. See if it works for you. See if a half day in bed and then the rest of the day being productive works for you. Or if you want a full rot day, get your computer and WFB, like work from bed, send some emails, do some productive things that you need to do. Everyone's life is different. Find one thing a day that you do. Walk to work if you can instead of driving, or take a walk during work. Go outside during your lunch break, whatever it is, go for a walk. Do one thing a day that feels like you're honoring a part of yourself. So if I could give you any advice, it would be that. And we'll just have to check back in on how I'm doing with all this in a few months. But I wanted to share it with you guys because I do think there's this overarching feeling of pressure during the summer months to be happy and enjoying yourself and getting out there and spending time outside and filling your weekends and weekdays with activities, happy hours, this, that. There's so much pressure to do all those things. And that's really not what this summer looked like for me. And there was a part of me that felt bad about that. And there's a part of me now that's accepting it for what it was and being really happy that I learned a lot about myself this summer that I didn't expect to learn. So yeah, that's where we're at. Try the half rot. Okay. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. You don't have to get out of bed right away, but you can get out of bed eventually and still do something and make your day worthwhile. That being said, we are ready for fall here at trying to figure it out. There's things on the horizon. We got horror nights coming up. We got a Disney day coming for sure, because the Haunted Mansion is Haunted Mansioning right now. We got pumpkin carving. We got fall decor coming to the house very soon. I'm sure there's still going to be hard days, even if it's fall. But there's so much I'm looking forward to doing this fall that I think mixing those in as things to do and put on my schedule on the hard days is just going to make life so great, and I'm very excited for it. I love you guys so much. If you ever are feeling alone, know that you're not, and you can always reach out to me on Instagram or TikTok or anything. I would love to be there for any of you. I love you guys. Thanks for listening.